Hey guys, welcome again. What's in front of you? Hopefully it's this, the new pending closing broker requirement. Very similar to the new listing in that we're really simply providing the necessary information for our admins to properly put all information into all required sources. And again, although this is called a broker requirements, I really believe it should be more of a directions, instructions, or information, because this is what all parties to take this transaction to a closing need to know. So here we go. Depending upon which side you're in, you're going to put in all of the information because you're on that side, or we're going to put in the necessary information we can find if we're on the opposite side. So what is the property address? Be it your listing or your sale, we should know address, city, the township or village of, name of the municipality, the zip code, and what county it exists in. We're going to then look for the type of property that we have sold here. And again, you've already had the explanation of this. Source of client, again, for marketing purposes, put in honestly because you, on top of the company, need to know the source for where you're getting your business. From there, guys, which side am I on? If I'm on the buyer side, I have all of the information. I'm only probably going to have the seller's names and address because public record is there, but I'm not likely to get phone or email, nor is it really necessary for us to have that. I might be able to get the marital status, might not. Don't assume. If it's not yours, obviously if you're on the seller side, I'm going to have all of this information and I'm going to collect what I can on the buyer side. Now, when it comes to the agent information, guys, we have all this, or we should have all of this. All we've got to do is an agent search, but most of the time, all of this information is going to be on the purchase agreement. One of the things that you can help your managing broker in the growth of the office and the growth of the company is by telling us whether or not this is a possible recruit. Does this individual agent that you're working with have the kind of personality, work ethic, are they or would they fit within the culture of the office? If they do, you want to put yes. If they don't, please, don't be afraid to check no. Worst thing that we could do is call this person and then they want to come and join our company. We bring them in and you're going, oh, there was no way you should have done that. Let us know, guys. It's a simple click. Yes, I like working with them. Great personality, somebody that I would bring into this company, this office. Then we want to know their office information. Same thing, guys. Our side, we know what it is. And we're going to put that information in. All we've got to do is a search for the office or the agent in the MLS. We'll have that. What we need to have is the title company information. Obviously, you need to fill this in regardless. Don't make an assumption that the admin knows that we're using Title I as an example or that we're using Fidelity. Specify which one it is and who your contact person and email would be. So that's our buyer. We're going to need the information from the listing agent for the seller's side. Otherwise, who's providing the owner's policy of title insurance? Now, the other thing to bring up here, if we have a cash sale, otherwise, if no financing is involved, and it is either cash or seller financing, we are only going to have one policy of title insurance, and it's called an owner's policy. And that owner's policy of title insurance is provided by the seller. Therefore, we are only going to have this one side completed. We will not have any of the information for another title company because it doesn't exist. A mortgage policy is not being provided. Next section Is the seller a U.S. citizen? I'll tell you, I wouldn't be afraid to ask that, because I would question whether or not some agents would know the answer to that. It's important, as you guys know, FIRPTA is something that is out there. It's probably dealing with most of the houses, because they would be $300,000 if they're not United States citizens. And let's do the things necessary before the closing so we don't have surprises at closing. The taxes. Now, here's what we know for most of our offices. They're normally paid in advance, but you may have areas where it's going to be in arrears or there's no tax prorations at all. How do I know what it is? Guys, your purchase agreements are going to state it. Ours, you have to check which one it is. So you need to know what's appropriate for most of the areas that you're selling in, and absolutely know for any of the unknowns, find out. Trust or LLC. If there is a trust, what's the name of the trust? Will the sellers be at closing? Do I have a copy of the current trust? In a previous video, I explained all about this in a recording on new listings. Special assessments, the same thing. Guys, it's just transferring the information over if this is your listing. If it's not your listing, shouldn't you know? What's the homeowner or condo association? Is there a contact address? Has the listing agent taken care of it? If you are the listing agent, obviously you have this information and should have taken care of it. Do we have the master deed, the bylaws, and a certificate of insurance for it if it's a condo association? Then finally, it's this on this page. Have you sent the documents to the title company? If yes, click yes and put the date. If you click yes, then you want to click no down here for the admin. If you haven't done it, click no, and you're going to click yes for the title, or for the admin to send to the title. They will then put the date in for that. Financing involved. Who's the mortgage company, their phone number, their email, and who's the loan originator. Put the information in, guys. If for some reason you're not around and your managing broker needs to handle something on your behalf, this is one of the places that we get to turn to where all of this information is at our disposal, and we're going to be able to help you out. Now, again, this is all information that all parties to get this transaction closed need to know. Are there concessions toward closing cost prepaids? What's the dollar amount or the percent? And actually, you can put the percent and the dollar amount, calculate it out, makes it easier for us down the line. Is it a cash deal? Obviously, if it's a cash deal, we don't have a mortgage company. But 90% of homes are financed. We need to know all of the information. Then, is it a conventional FHA, VA, MSHDA, RD, land contract, or other? It could be conventional RD. It could be conventional MSHDA, in which case I'd be checking the appropriate boxes. So it's really check all appropriate boxes. Is this a land contract? If so, we're specifying what the terms of that is. Where it says due, this would be as if there was a balloon payment instead of an amortizing in full. Is it a lease with option? If so, what are the option monies? And when must that option be exercised by? And is there a first right of refusal? If you never spoke of a first right of refusal, the answer is no. What do we have at that point? It's your checklist, guys. Turn in the file with all of the appropriate documents. And this is to help you make sure that you turn that in. Want to have an admin that loves you and you'll love them? Give them everything at once and give it to them on a timely basis. Now from there, we're filling in all of the appropriate information directly off of the purchase agreement. The PA date, the close date, and this is the date on again, the PA that says close by would go here. The sale price, what is their earnest money deposit? Are we holding the earnest money deposit? If yes, click here. Otherwise, it's no. And then it needs to be specified on the purchase agreement. Make sure it states who's holding the earnest money deposit on the purchase agreement. Is it a split closing? To understand again the split closing, are there two separate title companies involved? If the listing title company A, and there's a mortgage involved, so there's mortgage policy title company B, we have a split closing. If we have financing involved, but it's title company A for the owner's policy, but it's also title company A for the mortgage policy, it is not a split closing. Is the closing department service member? Otherwise, have we got the closing department involved? And if you're not familiar with that, check with your managing broker, your admin. It is something we have as an added service that you do have available to you for a minimal charge that you can take advantage of. And this is just to check off, make sure that we get them compensated should you be taking advantage of them. Escrows for occupancy. Is occupancy at close or is there post-closing occupancy? At close, obviously. Other, when is it? Is it 30 days? Is it 60 days? We know that 60 days is a maximum if mortgage is involved. Is there rent escrow monies? What is the total of that amount? What is the water sewer? Where am I getting this from? The purchase agreement. These should be directly showing upon there as to whether or not they are required and to what the amounts would be. It may need to have a calculation, I should say, but it is on the purchase agreement. Then we want to know about our compensation. Is our compensation based upon the sale price or on the net sale price? Otherwise, sale price less concessions in our commission being based upon that net amount. And regardless, what are the concession amount if they're to be paid? Calculate out what Century 21 Professionals is due. Calculate out what the co-op commission is. Most of the time, it is being asked and built into a purchase agreement where the buyer is asking the seller to pay the compensation, contributing toward what they owe. If for some reason there is a bonus being paid, listed out, I think these are pretty much a thing of the past now. The commission, and it should say this, buyer broker commission paid for by. So when you see this highlight, it should be buyer broker commission paid for by the seller. What's the amount and the percentage? What's the amount percentage of the buyer? You might have it by the buyer if this is a cash sale. Oh, by the way, you might have a portion of it paid by the seller, a portion of it paid by the buyer. Remember this, as a listing broker, we won't pay compensation. Let me state it again. As a listing broker, we will not pay compensation. And preferably, we don't ask for a listing broker to pay compensation. Is our compliance fee there because this is a transaction? Is the buyer paying it? Is the seller paying it? Is the agent paying it? We do waive, and if we waive it, it is because it's relocation or VA. If it's a lease, it's only $195, and again, who's paying it? And that's just checking the correct box. Referrals, is it a referral or not? Is there somebody that's supposed to be compensated? Is there a mentor that's part of this program? If yes, check the box and put the agent's name. If it's a referral, who is the referral company and what is the referral fee? Then we get to the home warranty. Was one to be provided? If yes, there should be an application attached. If no, get the waiver. Is the coverage for the buyer or is it for both? Most of the time it is the buyer. We need to know, along with the application, what company is providing it, what is the cost of it, and because it's been called in, we need to know the confirmation number. Reason for all of this is so that the money for the home warranty can be taken out of the closing proceeds, and we know that we've got all parties protected and covered. And of course, we want to know who's paying for it so that it can be taken out of proceeds if it is the seller, or collected from the buyer if it is them, or that we know that the money's coming from the listing agent or the selling agent. Not common, but it does occur. Lastly, guys, just sold postcards, same as before. First 25 are free. Always check yes. The only time I can think that you would check no is if you had a lease that was completed. These are truly going out as just sold. If you just leased, well, up to you. But that is about the only time where I could say that maybe you don't want to send the first 25 out free. If you want the additional ones, remember it's $1.06. Get with your admin and let them help you get that going. Fabulous program for you guys to be able to use as a preferred client club. Check yes. Your admin will help you with that. Continuity program, check yes. Your admin will help you with that. And of course, you've got to complete the continuity form. And for who it's for, the admin will help you with all of this. So guys, there's another form out of the way for you. Provide all the information. Get out there. I'm going to remind you always, talk to people. That's how we get into having to complete all these forms. Learning how to fill them out means nothing if you aren't talking to people. So with that, I'll wish you a great one, and we'll see you on another recording.